driven to every appointment you have. Right? Well, the strange thing about the future is that no matter how wise or smart somebody claims they are, the fact is, right, you really don't know. Right? And there are many unpredictable things in the future. One of the most extraordinary things in my experience, which is limited, is what the good things that you can't foresee. There are many bad things that one can look out and say, oh, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. But the wonderful things that happen in the future and in history and to you individually are the most unpredictable things. That is a surprise, and that is the optimism of that thing we call the future. You know that when you graduate here, you have forever a home, an artistic home, to which you can always return and be warmly welcomed. And in addition, we have a campus in LA. You come there and you will get a guided tour of that facility as well, so that on either coast, we hope we can provide some sense of home and reinforcement for you. Today is a very special day because I get to introduce someone who is truly one of us. And she spoke in Los Angeles some bit ago, and she was, I think, the most popular speaker we have ever had in our history. I wonder if she'll live up to that today. I have no doubt. They say that artists and people in the theater are the most generous people in the world because they give of themselves at the moment and they give all that they are. And they say to the public, this is my reason. This is who I am. Let me give this to you. It is one of the most pure and unselfish callings. What could be more noble or more innocent than to say, I wish to entertain, I wish to please. We can feed food to the world, but artists feed the soul. Never forget that. No society has ever been able to do without you. Though the status goes up and down, remember in Moliere's time, he wasn't allowed in respectable social circles. But he still did well as an actor and a playwright. Well, it took him 10 years, you know. He hit Paris when he was 20. 20 years old. Total failure. Took him 10 years when he came back and became a success. 10 years of learning. So, today's speaker, whom you all know about, and I'm sure everyone has seen in one form or another, is going to be seen in 2007, which is already 3 months away. That's right, somebody flinched. In the feature film Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, directed by Sidney Lumet, a legendary, one of the great legends of Hollywood. She can be heard, of course, as you know, as Judy Haynes in the upcoming original cast album of the musical White Christmas. And she will be featured, by the way, in this year's Thanksgiving parade at Macy's. Yes, isn't that fun? Very exciting news. She's slated to star in the new musical Lady on a Carousel, and the character she is playing is someone with the name of Marilyn Monroe. And that's to hit Broadway in 2007. She has a debut album, a collection of her original songs. And that is available on her website. And she can be seen, of course, as the recurring star in Missy Tiggs opposite Tom Selleck and Candice Bergen of BBC's Boston Legal this coming Tuesday night. Now that's all very impressive, but you will see that the most impressive thing about this person is herself. A stunning combination of God-given talent, native intelligence, and the most important thing of all, character. You'll see. It's my unalloyed pleasure to introduce to you Meredith Patterson.
David always seems to make me even more nervous than I already am. It's such a privilege to be here today. Just 10 years ago, I graduated from AMDA, and I actually lived on this very street at the Lucerne. It's the first street I ever lived in New York, and so it's very nostalgic to be back on this street. I was very anxious when I was sitting where you're sitting right now, wondering what was going to happen next, what was in the cards for me. And I know how it feels. It's such an exciting time for you, each and every one of you. And I want to thank David and Jan for asking me back to speak at graduation for a school that means so much to me and has always been home. I moved to New York when I was just 18, as I'm sure some of you did. And when I graduated from AMDA, the business was very different from what it is today. Today, it's very multimedia, to say the least. You have reality television. You have reality television stars who now are actors. You have celebrities who are just celebrities for celebrity's sake. And now you have reality TV even coming to Broadway. You know what I'm talking about. Well, with this new wave of entertainment also comes, with this new wave of entertainment, not only has the business changed, but the competition has dramatically changed. Now, someone with no theatrical experience at all, and who has minimal celebrity on the 3rd season of American Idol, will be offered a starring role on Broadway. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you, I'm just letting you know that this is the reality. So what does this mean for you going out into the business? You're an AMDA graduate. You're somebody who has been trained to be a professional, not only here, but probably in your hometowns for many years. What does this mean with all this competition and the way that the business is now? In my opinion, absolutely nothing. What you have to ask yourself, honestly, do I want to be an actor or do I want to be famous? And I know the answer to that is both, right? I'm sure that would be the best of both worlds. Some of the stars that I've been fortunate enough to work with, people who are famous, I ask them that question. Did you ever think you wanted to be famous? And a lot of them said, I never expected to be famous. I never planned on being famous. That wasn't my goal. My goal was to do great work. And that should be your goal. It may be very frustrating at times. And the truth is, something to keep in mind is to survive in this business, you have to think of your career as a marathon and not a sprint. I remember very first week at AMDA. And Mr. Pearson, is he here today? Is he? Well, I haven't seen him in a long time. But we all know from the top. Yeah, he's been doing that well. And I was always Miss Patterson. Anyway, my first week of AMDA, in his class, the very first time, he sat down there and he said, 60% of you will not make a living as an actor. 40% of you will. Did he say this to you? And we all kind of went, you know, we just moved, I moved 3,000 miles away from everything and anybody I knew, and here I was, and my eyes were wide open, and I thought, I'm gonna make it, this is gonna work for me. And then he says that very first day. So what I said from that point on was, I'm gonna be that 40%. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Making it to me has always been making my living as an actor. I've been very fortunate, because there are many people who can't, to have made my living as an actor. But it hasn't always been easy. I've been very lucky, but don't let it fool you. I have, my first years after AMDA, I ate top ramen. I slept on people's couches. I slept on a mattress on the floor. I worked as a coat checker while I worked as a waitress. I even scrubbed toilets and mopped floors and cleaned the bathrooms at Steps Dance Studio down the street for free dance classes. It was the scholarship program, if you know about that. Anything I could do to keep myself in the city and keep working. A lot of people that I went to school with after they graduated said, I'm going to go home and I'm going to make money and I'm going to come back. And they never did. Not that you can't, not that it's not an option, but I would say that your chances are higher if you just stick together as a class, stick together as actors, support each other, and stay here and do good work, and keep training and keep learning. This may sound strange, and I'm sure your parents won't love that I'm saying this, but I do hope that you struggle. I don't wish you success immediately. The reason being is you don't appreciate it more if you get to the top like that. I know because I've struggled. And when you've struggled, when you get to the top, when you're starring on Broadway and you're standing in the middle of the stage and you're about to sing the title song of 42nd Street on 42nd Street, you sit there and say, thank God, because I know what it's like to sleep on the floor. I know what it's like to be in a cattle call with 400 other girls. I know what it's like to not know if I'm going to work again. And a huge piece of advice I would give you is something that you will struggle with no matter what level you get in the business. Learn to love rejection. What I mean by that is no matter what level you get to, I just had a conversation on the set with Candace Bergen, and I asked her, you know, anything I could if she would talk to me for longer than, you know, in between takes or whatever. I asked her, what would your advice be? And she said, no matter what, you're constantly going to lose a part to somebody else. You're going to not get a part because you're not pretty enough, you're too pretty, you're not tall enough, you're too tall, you're fat, you're skinny, whatever. Learn to love rejection and accept it, and do your best when you go into an audition. Don't think about all the other girls that are up for it, or guys. That doesn't exist to you. And that is the best way to handle it, I believe. The competition doesn't exist. You exist. There's only one of you that exists in this business. Don't think about the statistics like what Mr. Pearson said. Don't concentrate on that. Concentrate on doing good work. Do your best and let it go. And what will be, will be. And know that getting a part or not getting a part does not determine your worth as a person or as an actor. It's very important because if you watch something like Inside the Actor's Studio or True Hollywood Story or whatever you watch, know that a lot of people who are famous or do actually make it, they were once starving, and many people told them that they wouldn't make it. And then all of a sudden, there they are, starring in a new TV show. You're still a wonderfully talented, deserving actor. And the fact that you moved to New York and went to AMDA and worked so hard, right there shows that you are committed to doing this, more so than you probably believe. But just to be in New York is such an accomplishment. The business is very fleeting, as I've been saying, but it's also very exciting to be a part of. And I really do wish you the best. One thing I would say is, not only is show business about the show, but it's about business. Learn about the business just as much as you are honing your skills and your craft. Learn about agents, about managers, go to your unions, find out about what it's about to be a part of equity or SAG or AFTRA. They are there for you just as well as AMDA is there for you and the support. I'll leave you with this. Ask yourself if there's anything else. You probably have already asked yourself this, but is there anything else in this world that you would want to do with your life? And if there is, I say go and try it, because this is a very, very hard business, but a very rewarding and exciting one. And if you get chills thinking about getting on stage, getting on Broadway, getting into the television series or a movie, then do it. Do it with all you have, 110%, and don't give up. Be a sponge. Learn from people. Learn what to do. Learn what not to do. Be nice to your understudy. Be nice to the second AD on a movie. You never know when they're going to be in a position to hire you. A lot of times, you get a job because of your reputation. And you may be just as talented as the next girl, but you are a nice person to work with, so they remember you. They want to hire you again. When I was doing 42nd Street, 9/11 hit. And I had just taken over the role. I was the understudy, and I had just taken over the role of Peggy Sawyer. And it was my dream come true. And then 9/11 happened, and the world completely changed. And I said, what am I doing with my life? This isn't, what kind of job is this? I'm not helping people. This isn't something that is, I'm not down there digging through rubble and helping with the firefighters and all of that. 2 days later, we were called back to the theater, and we had to do the show. And I thought, this is disrespectful. I don't want to get up in sequence and tap dance and sing. How can I do this? How can I do this? This is not right. And then the curtain went up, and I saw the slew of people who were there just streaming with tears, crying, needing that escape. And I realized that's my job. That is what being an actor is about. It is about escape. It is about creating a character, bringing a story to people and letting them lose themselves in you. And it is the most rewarding job. From that moment on, I knew what I did for a living meant something. Life can turn on a dime, so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of going out there and doing every audition you can do. And if you get rejected for 6 months to a year, just know that 9 times out of 10, every famous person you see on television or in film went through the exact same thing. We all have been there, we've all struggled. Use your resources, stay friends, support each other, dive in deep, and don't give up. I wish you all the best of luck. Congratulations. And as we say in the theater, break a leg.
tell the truth. That's the big challenge. Strindberg said language was invented to hide the truth. So I think Meredith is a wonderful example of somebody who tells it directly and straight. You see what I mean, right? Well, at a point like this, one thinks, what wisdom can one bestow? What words of advice at the final? And of course, if you really are truthful about that, and these people verify that, it's not that as you get older necessarily you get wiser, do you? Perhaps the wisdom is in knowing that, and that learning, no matter what it is, simply opens the door to further questions. Yes. And that is very exciting, so it's very important. I think I have discovered not so much the answers, but the questions you ask about every aspect of your life and how you formulate those, exactly how you ask the question. Because in a riddle, in the question, lies the answer. By the way, that's Ralph Waldo Emerson, not me. So, what a wonderful thing to be able to look at you. Of course, I remember you from the third semester, and your faces and what you did come to me at all strange moments in one's life. And about a month ago, in California, someone called me from, oh, I won't tell you how many years ago, before you were born, and they said, do you remember me? And I said, yes. And you did this scene, and this is the way you said the lines. Now, how that happens, I have no idea. Not through any invention of mine. Right? These things happen to you, don't they? They come back to you. And so the actor lives in the minds of people. 1 month after 9/11, when this city was indeed undergoing such crisis, and we had been dealing with our own situation here, the first show that I saw after that was 42nd Street. And there was Meredith on the stage. And I swear to you that when we came out, it was a matinee, although the sky was overcast, it looked brighter. She was the embodiment of hope, courage, fortitude, bravery, heroism. Yes, in that role, in that musical. How can that be? That's not what that musical is about, but it is. That's the hidden message between language, the sharing of what it means to be a human being, and the constant hope, because one is human, what is possible. The final exciting thing is, are you ready? It's not in our hands. It's in yours. And we look forward to seeing what you're going to do. Well, I think it's time to do the deed.